Retirement regrets of the mind, not of the wallet, Abe. They are very real and sometimes can have an even greater effect on how happy or unhappy we are in our retirement. So that's what we're going to break down here in this conversation today. This is Abe
Let's do it.
Abish, financial advisor, founder of Abish Financial Services. I'm Heather Branch, here to ask for Abe's ideas on ways that we can work to avoid regrets in the years ahead. We have worked so hard to get to this phase of our life where we can finally enjoy the fruits of our labor. And that's what you should be doing. You should be enjoying, not worrying,
Absolutely.
not regretting. So let's break this down a little bit because we have talked before about financial regrets.
Sure.
But the idea of psychological regrets is actually one that was brought up by another financial podcaster by the name of Tyler Gardner. He recently posted what he believes are the three biggest psychological regrets that he has seen amongst retirees. So I wanted to ask you about the points that he made, flesh those out a little bit for us, and maybe add to that list. Do you see differences or others in your office that you want people to be aware of so that they don't have these regrets?
Yeah, there are three that he mentions in his video, podcast, and I think they're excellent. So I'm just going to read them out, and then we can kind of add to these. So the three psychological regrets of retirees that he talks about: number one, not realizing that your money is a tool and not the goal. Right. Not realizing that money is a tool and not the goal. Many retirees spend their lives accumulating wealth. We talk about this on our podcasts and shows all the time, only to end up struggling to spend it. Again, many retirees spend their lives accumulating only to end up struggling to spend it. You can afford it, but you feel guilty spending it. Now, a lot of this might take you back to when you were a kid, and your parents are saying, don't spend it all at once, and you can only spend X amount, and you're only getting a certain amount for allowance. And, if your parents are tight with money, then you're probably tight with money too. And that's not a bad thing unless you get into your 70s and 80s and you have all this money and you haven't enjoyed. You didn't take advantage of spending it on things that you would have spent it on if you weren't so tight. Okay. So the gentleman recommends trying to have a required spending account, like have a play account. Put some money aside, whatever it is, 20, 10 grand, 5 grand, 50 grand, whatever it is that you're going to spend on stuff that you really enjoy, stuff that brings you life, stuff that you want to do, bucket list items. Yeah. When people are in our office, Heather, and all the time I'll say, a lot of our clients, they have spending problems. The spending problem is not that they're spending too much. They're not spending enough. And they've got 3, 4, 5 million socked away. And I'm like, you have a spending problem. You don't even need this money. Your pensions and Social Security covers all the bills. And you've got several $1 million on top of it. We're going to have to actively put together a retirement income plan that helps you spend it. Okay. Otherwise, it's gonna all go to your kids, and that's not bad
What's
either.
What's the point of that? Right.
But yeah, a lot of people say, well, my
not
kids
why you saved all this money. Yeah.
A lot of people say, I don't want to pass on any money to my kids, or whatever's left over is left over, or my kids will be fine. They're doctors, attorneys, whatever. They're taken care of, or their spouse's family is going to take care of them, whatever. Right. If passing money on to your kids and grandkids is important, it is to a lot of people. So I don't want to downplay that, but you get the point. Yeah. Do not wait until your 70s and 80s when you're, older to enjoy it all, right? Because you might not have that opportunity. So create a required spending account for this calendar year. The money is only good for 1 year. It can only be used on experiences. That was his suggestion, and I love that idea. Yeah. Love it. Yep. Number 2, worrying about running out of money. This is the retiree's number one fear, that they're going to be alive and their money's going to be gone. Yeah. For whatever reasons, spending too much, too much taxes, inflation, market downturns and losses. Even multimillionaires deal with this. We've had people come into the office, Heather, with 10, 15, 20 million sometimes, and they're just as concerned with running out of money as someone that has $1, $2, $3 million. Okay. So even multimillionaires deal with this. You've spent decades practicing discipline, which can help switching to a spending mode difficult. You spent years and years accumulating, which can mean turning this accumulation into spending is difficult for a lot of people. If you're not careful, you can end up dying with more money than you started. Don't trade years of living for years of worrying. When you have a plan, a retirement income plan, a comprehensive retirement income plan that not only just addresses the investments, That's what most phase one firms handle, is just the investment. But then also adds in a plan for taxes, healthcare, estate planning, a plan for income, a plan to enjoy all this money you've just socked away. Then the chances of success go through the roof. And then people can retire with more added confidence and dignity because you have something to follow, measure, and track. And man, when people leave our offices and conference room tables, they usually feel so much better because they've reviewed and revisited the plan and now have a very good idea of how this plan should perform and what it should do for them at least the next 6 months, year, next several years of their lives, if not more. Number 3, realizing you waited too long to enjoy life. Number 3, the third psychological regret of a retiree, realizing you've waited too long to enjoy life. Many people think their entire lives thinking, once I retire, then I'll do so-and-so. Once I get to 65, then I'll do that. Then I'll take that trip. Then I'll spend that money. Just want to focus right now on saving. But your health, your energy, and your relationships may not be the same by the time you get there.
Yeah.
Don't adopt a once I have this, then I'll be happy attitude.
Yeah.
If you're not happy today, chances are you won't be happy tomorrow either. So the whole point of this podcast is I think the biggest takeaway is, while you're working hard and while you're accumulating, I'm a big advocate for this. While you're working hard, while you're accumulating, and you're in that phase one phase of your life, even when you're in your 40s, 50s, and early 60s, enjoy the ride. Like, enjoy it while you're working hard. But then especially when you get into phase 2, this is usually in your 60s, put together a retirement plan that's income focused. Yes, growth is important too, but you've worked your entire life to now enjoy your nest egg. Your paychecks have stopped. So make sure your retirement plan is income generating and will allow you to create the memories and the experiences that are really going to make you most fulfilled in retirement. Yeah.
Helping you avoid regrets of any and all kinds in the second phase of your financial life. This is the point of having a plan. This is the goal of every plan they build at Abish Financial Services. They want to help you avoid regrets. And it's so much bigger than money regrets when it comes to our retirement. There is a psychological element. We joke all the time, Abe, about how, yes, you are a financial advisor or retirement planner, but you're also part-time psychologist, part-time marital therapist. Yeah. Because there's so much psychology that goes into this, because we have worked so hard. We have earned, we have saved, we have pinched our pennies. We have shared stories before about how your mom, going back to your youth, you used to watch your mom clip coupons.
Right.
You can't just turn that off. You can't just turn 65 and say you're retired and then suddenly just start spending the money.
Right.
Free will, no thoughts. It's just,
that's right.
You got to give yourself a break, first of all.
You need the permission to spend.
Yeah.
When you have a plan and you have an advisory firm that you're working with that says, hey, yes, this checks out. This is okay. You can do this. It's going to give you the added confidence, right? It's going to give you the added peace of mind that you need to make those decisions and to know it's okay. That, if you want, you can upgrade to first class. Yes, if you want, you can take that additional trip. Yes, if you want, you can start gifting to your grandkids and you can, while you're alive, right? And you can do these things and still know you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's key.
And you just said the line, to know you're okay. And that's what it all boils down to. Having the knowledge, having the understanding. For some people that are intelligent people, just having some education on finances. That's where it starts. And so that was actually a huge motivating reason that you wrote your book, The Retirement Mountain, The 7 Steps to a Long-Lasting Retirement. Is an easy read, about 100 pages. You can read it in a couple hours on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon. And it's a great way to begin educating yourselves on the things that Abe wants you to know about as you get ready to retire, or perhaps you've just begun your retirement journey, and the idea of what it takes to come down that mountain, that financial mountain that you've created for yourself. Because, Abe, you say that, and there's studies that show that when it comes to our financial risk, it's that descent.
That's right.
That is the toughest part.
80% of all mountain climbing accidents happen going down the mountain, not going up. But yes, it's hard getting up the mountain. It's just as hard, if not harder, getting down. That's where 80% of all mountain climbing accidents happen. That's where all the risks and all the challenges happen in retirement. When you're 40, when you're 50, when you're in your 30s, if the markets are down 50%, all right, the closer you get to retirement, of course, the more that hurts, and it could be life changing and not in a good way. But if you're 30 and 40 years old, man, you've got 20, 30 years. Buy the dip. The markets are on sale. The markets are on a massive sale. It really doesn't matter because you have all this time in front of you. But when you're knocking at the footsteps of retirement, knocking at the door of retirement, or already in, avoiding large loss, not when it just comes to the markets, but taxes, healthcare, estate planning, inflation, all of it, you really want to button up your retirement plan and get it protected as much as possible. Just think about, the moat around the castle, right? You're protecting your fort, you're protecting your nest egg from all the risks and challenges that can really mess up a great savings plan. And then you want to put that whole retirement plan to work, turn it into a spending plan you can enjoy.
Yeah. Well, that's what you're here to help us figure out. If you want to read Abe's book, we've got a few ways for you to be able to do that. You can go to the website, theretirementkey.com. Click on the media tab. You'll see a book option there. You can buy the book on Amazon. For anybody who comes in, has an appointment, and you have this initial consultation with Abe and his team, we can give you a copy of the book complimentary. You can also download a free chapter, again, on our website. So lots of different ways Abe and his team are working to help you get information, education, knowledge. It's your money. It's your future. It's your life. You deserve to be in a positive place with it. You deserve the education and information. Abe and his team are here to help you get all of these things. So again, visit us at theretirementkey.com. We also have links posted in the show notes, so you can just click there. Let's get to work on getting you this information so that you can avoid these regrets in the years ahead and instead look forward to all the years of happiness that you deserve through the knowledge and information of a plan of your own. Again, it's theretirementkey.com.